Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I show you how to make one tangle pattern using the Zentangle method of drawing. Today I've got my Micron pen. It is a PN plastic nib pen. I have a little graphite pencil for some drawing and shading and a blending tool. This is just a paper blending tool called a tortillon. And I'm using my 2" by 2" Zentangle brand tiles, and these are called the Bijou tiles. So all of these are available on zentangle.com, but you can also use whatever you have around your home. Okay, so today's tangle is called Hamail, and it is by Tina Hunziker, a CZT. Hamail. I think that's how you say it. And she designed it when she made a little decoration to her friend Hanny on the mail that she sent her. So that's where the name came from. Okay, so to make this one, I'm going to start out with, I think I'll start out with my pencil. Typically I start with a pen, but I'm going to do this just to help you get the hang of it, and then we can do some inking over it. So I'm going to put a little dot in the middle, just as my starting point. And I'm going to begin with a little line up and a hook. And then after I make that initial little hook, I'm going to go back to that center and I'm going to do it again. So a little line up and a hook. And I'm going to do it again. And as I do it, I'm going to go just maybe slightly bigger than the previous one. A little bit up and a hook. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch to ink. But I wanted you to try it in pencil to make sure you get the hang of it and that you like it. And if not, you can erase it and begin again. So to make this first little dot, I'm going to go up and a hook. Up and a hook. And then I'm going to turn my tile as I go. And each time I'm going to make mine just a little bit taller. So up and a hook. A little taller. And if it doesn't quite reach over, then I can just go back and fill in that little gap. I like being able to spin my tile as I go. All right, so now I've gone all the way around. And now I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to let this one come down here. That's not true. I meant to go up from there. I'm sorry. Do my little hook again. And then from down here, do my little hook. So I kind of messed that one up a little bit. No one's going to notice, but I should have started at the bottom and gone up. And that's okay. And I'm going to still try to get a little bit bigger as I go. I feel like this is one of those designs that is so relaxing because we're making that exact same shape over and over again. It's just these little hooks or little J's. Try to go a little taller. I kind of keep forgetting to do that. I'm always trying to keep things even, and then I forget that part of the design of this one is that we get larger. Isn't that cool looking? Forget where the top is. The top's up here. All right, I'm going to go just a little bit further because now I'm reaching the edge of my tile. And then from here, I can just close it up, or I can get smaller and work my way back into it, which I think is what I'm going to do. I keep trying to finish that loop. So a hook and then a hook. Like I'm going the wrong way now. Okay, I'm doing it right. It's harder to get smaller. There we go. Again, if you just want to end yours at the large spot, you can. Hook, hook, and then I'm just going to curl it down and be done. There's the top. Isn't that so neat? Just this little spiral. It kind of looks like a seashell. I love that. So on her example, she had several beautiful examples, and on one of them, she added a whole bunch of little flux shapes kind of coming out around it. And she also had the background of one of them being just some little wavy lines. And I think that kind of was meant to look like the beach, like the waves or the sand. And so I'm going to do that. But before I do it, I'm going to make a little box frame. And I didn't do that to begin because I was worried that we would not want to go over that line. So right now I'm going to put a dot in each of the four corners. It doesn't matter, like mine is going to come below the edge of this, and that's okay. And then I'm going to try to draw this line from one dot to the next and make this little frame. And I like that mine is uneven. I don't necessarily want it to be perfectly centered. So I've got this cute little frame in there. And now I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm just going to put in some little wavy lines. From one side to the next. And there's a tangle called Diva Dance that you could do behind here, which is adding like little dark shapes and then your next line auras over it. I'm not going to do that right now, but it would be a fun little background. I love how we have these straight lines that end in curves, and then we have these curvy lines. All right, what do you think? Isn't that pretty? All right, now what's going to make this amazing is adding some shading. So to do my shading, I'm going to begin right at this little dot here in the center. And then I'm going to go up that first curve and put some over the top. And then over the top of each curve. And I'm just putting the tiniest little bit over that top of that little hook shape that we made. And I'm just slowly working my way all the way around. And mine goes over the edge of my frame, and I'm going to go ahead and add that shading right over that edge. And after you get that outside edge all outlined, take your blending tool and start back at that dot and start pushing that graphite up and away from that little edge. We want it to be a smooth transition going out into those little petal shapes. So just push that out and up into there. And then right over those little beachy waves. Look at how three-dimensional that looks. I love it. All right, this is going to be a little bit tedious if you want to do this next part, but I want to show you because it's really pretty cool. So I'm just going to pick like a spot. I don't want to do the inside right now. It's too tiny. I'll do a spot out here. And I'm going to do, I've got that little hook line, and it makes it look like that petal is tucking underneath the next one. So I want to put this little bit of pencil at that next line of my hook. So right here, that outside little edge of that next hook. I'm going to show you what that's going to do when I blend that just slightly. Look at how it makes those look like they are stacked. Isn't that so pretty? It's harder to show up on one of these little tiny tiles, but it adds so much depth to this particular tangle. Take my blending tool and I'll just soften each of those. And in these small spaces, I really want to just soften it a tiny bit and keep the rest of that little section white. That's what's going to give it that little shadowy look. Look at how pretty that looks compared to this side. So that side compared to this side. And I know sometimes it feels tedious or it takes a long time, but these little details just add so much. And then I will go back and do the center. This would be so fun in a nautical type tile. Some kind of a beach tile with a couple of these, or in a tile that is larger and has several of these kind of overlapping each other or weaving in and out of each other. These little tiny parts in the middle are so small. Those I'm just kind of blending over super fast because I can't even tell. They're too tiny. All right, look at how fun that is. I'm going to put my initials right down here in this little wavy sand part. There we go. And I'm going to add one more aura to the outside edge, just because sometimes I think that looks more like a frame. Okay, there we go. Look at that cute little piece of art. That is Hamail. I'm not sure which one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.